Hello, everyone. Bawoni. Welcome to today's episode of our Yoruba live stream by Tayari.Live. So, I welcome you to the live stream. If this is the first time you are joining, please kindly hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss other interesting episodes of our live streams that we would have in the future. Okay, welcome everyone. Today is the second part of our series on how to use numbers in Yoruba. We had the first part a few days ago. You can still check our channel. You will find the video on the video of the first part there. So we are talking about how to use numbers in Yoruba and how they change forms depending on how you are using them. So in the first part, we talked about three ways of using numbers. One of it is when we are counting. So in Yoruba, when you want to count in Yoruba, one is okan, two is eji, three is eta, four is eri, five is arun, six is efa, seven eje, eight ejo, nine ẹ̀sán, 10 ẹ̀wá. That is if you are counting. But if you are attributing numbers to an object or you are using to say to quantify something. So if I want to say I have 5 pen or I have one book. So if it's counting, one is okan. But if I want to say I have one book, instead I will not say money iwe okan. I will not say I have okan book. Instead, I will say ẹyọkan. Mo níwèé ẹyọkan or mo níwèé kan. So it changes from we say okan, èjì, ẹ̀ta if you are counting, but we are attributing it to if you are using it to quantify something. Instead, one will be ẹyọkan, two will be méjì, three will be mẹ́ta, four will be mẹ́rin, five will be márùn. So if you are quantifying things, it is ẹyọkan, méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn. But if you are counting, it's going to be ọ̀kan, èjì, ẹ̀ta, ẹ̀rin, and àrún. The third one we discussed in the first part is the cardinal numbers, the actual names of numbers in Yoruba. So just like we use numbers in mathematics, we say 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. So numbers themselves have their actual names in Yoruba, which is one is ọ̀kan, two is èjì, three is ẹ̀ta, four is ẹ̀rin, five is àrún, six is ẹ̀fà, seven is èje, eight is ẹ̀jọ, nine is ẹ̀sán, and 10 is ẹ̀wá. If you account it is ọ̀kan, èjì, ẹ̀ta, ẹ̀rin, àrún, ẹ̀fà, èje, ẹ̀jọ, ẹ̀sán, ẹ̀wá. But if you are using number to quantify something, it's going to be ẹyọkan, méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn, mẹ́fà, méje, mẹ́jọ, mẹ́sàn, mẹ́wàá. Those are the three ways of using numbers in Yoruba that we explained in the first part. So today this is the second part of the series, and today we'll be talking about two other ways of using numbers in which numbers can be said differently in Yoruba. Also in English too, it's this part we want to discuss today. It's also changes when it's in English. In English, if the account is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you want to quantify things like 3 book, 4 book, it's still 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, 4 books. So it's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also, the actual names of numbers, the cardinal numbers in English is also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So unlike in Yoruba that has the different forms that I've mentioned earlier. But the one we want to discuss today, in the two languages, they change. The first one we are going to be discussing today is when we talk about order or position. So when we are talking about order, how the sequence in which things are arranged. So in English, we say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, tenth. So how do we use this in Yoruba? How do we say it in Yoruba? So when you are using numbers to for in sequence to say the sequence of things, or to say the order in which things happened or in which things are arranged. So that's all one of the parts we are discussing today. The second one is if we are discussing frequency, how frequently something happened. So did it happen once? Did it happen twice? Did it happen 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times, 8 times, 9 times, and 10 times? How do we say this in Yoruba? That is what we are discussing today. So moving on to the first part. So which is when we want to talk about sequence in which. Okay. So when we talk about order or sequence in which things happen, so in this case, we are first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. So in Yoruba, first is ìkíní or àkọ́kọ́. Ìkíní or àkọ́kọ́, sorry. So it's either we say ipò kíní, so the person that comes first. So ó ṣe ipò kíní is the first position, is in the first position. So first is ìkíní, ìkíní. Don't forget, um, they are different from when we are counting. But they look similar. You see the similarity when we go beyond one. So first Yoruba is ìkíní, or you say àkọ́kọ́. Second is èkejì, èkejì. Don't forget the cardinal name, the actual name for two in Yoruba is èjì. But when we are talking about sequence or order, we say second is èkejì. Then we have third, which is ẹ̀kẹta. Third is ẹ̀kẹta. Then we have fourth, which is ẹ̀kẹrin. Fourth is ẹ̀kẹrin. Fifth is ìkarùn-ún. Fifth is ìkarùn-ún. Then we have seventh, which is ẹ̀keje. Seventh is ẹ̀keje. Eighth is ẹ̀kẹjọ. Eighth is ẹ̀kẹjọ. Ninth, ẹ̀kẹwàá. Ninth, ẹ̀kẹwàá. Ninth is ẹ̀kẹsàn. Sorry. Ninth is ẹ̀kẹsàn. And 10th is ẹ̀kẹwàá. So from first to 10th is going to be ìkíní, èkejì, ẹ̀kẹta, ẹ̀kẹrin, ẹ̀karùn-ún, ẹ̀kẹfà, ẹ̀keje, ẹ̀kẹjọ, ẹ̀kẹsàn, ẹ̀kẹwàá. So first ìkíní, second èkejì, third ẹ̀kẹta, fourth ẹ̀kẹrin, fifth ẹ̀karùn-ún, sixth ẹ̀kẹfà, seventh èkeje, eighth ẹ̀kẹjọ, ninth ẹ̀kẹsàn, and tenth is ẹ̀kẹwàá. This is how we use numbers in sequence in Yoruba. So ìkíní, èkejì, ẹ̀kẹta, ẹ̀kẹrin, ẹ̀karùn-ún, ẹ̀kẹfà, èkeje, ẹ̀kẹjọ, ẹ̀kẹsàn, àti ẹ̀kẹwàá. So in English it is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and tenth. So that is the first part of the two ways we want to discuss today. These are the ways we use numbers in Yoruba. So the second part which we are going to be discussing is when we are discussing frequency, how often things happen. So we are discussing frequency, like how many times something happened. So if I want to ask you, how many times did you do something? Oh, I say I did it once, or I did it twice, or 3 times, or 4 times. So frequency, how we use numbers to say how many times we did something in Yoruba. So if I want to say once in Yoruba, I will say ẹ̀ẹ̀kan, ẹ̀ẹ̀kan. Twice, ẹ̀ẹ̀méjì, ẹ̀ẹ̀méjì. 3 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta. 4 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́rin, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́rin. 5 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn-ún, ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn-ún. 6 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́fà, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́fà. 7 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀méje, ẹ̀ẹ̀méje. 8 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́jọ, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́jọ. 9 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́sàn-án, and 10 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́wàá. So that is when you want to say how many times. How many times have you eaten today? Ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta, 3 times. How many times have you okay, let me say how many times have you watched movies today? I'll say once. I'll say ẹ̀ẹ̀kan, ẹ̀ẹ̀kan ṣoṣo, ẹ̀ẹ̀kan. So ẹ̀ẹ̀kan is one. So frequency, when you're saying how many times you do something in Yoruba, you say ẹ̀ẹ̀kan, ẹ̀ẹ̀méjì, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́rin, ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn-ún, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́fà, ẹ̀ẹ̀méje, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́jọ, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́sàn-án, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́wàá. So once, ẹ̀ẹ̀kan. Twice, ẹ̀ẹ̀méjì. 3 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta. 4 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́rin. 5 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn-ún. 6 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́fà. 7 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀méje. 8 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́jọ. 9 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́sàn-án. 10 times, ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́wàá. This is how we say frequency, or how many times things happen in Yoruba. So these are ways we use numbers in Yoruba. Of course, it's not limited to this, but I believe we should just keep it short and sharp so that it's easy to remember. So next time you're trying to use numbers in Yoruba, you should take note of the situation where you want to use it, the scenario. So if I want to say um, something that has to do with, if I'm attributing numbers to something now. So if I want to say I have 10 bags, I will say mo ní báàgì, I have báàgì, I have bag. Mẹ́wàá, mẹ́wàá is 10. So that is when you are using numbers to quantify something. So if I want to say, or if I'm using it, if I'm attributing numbers to my age now, if I say I am 20 years old, I will say ọmọ ogún ọdún ni mí. Or if I want to say I'm 10 years old, let me use what we have covered. So I will say ọmọ ni mí. Mẹ́wàá to say I've gone to school 2 times today, or I've gone to school 3 times today. I will say 3 times will be ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́ta, 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 3 times. Ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹ́rin, 4 times. Ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn, 5 times. So Yoruba is a very sensitive language that takes note of where you are using its words. So, and as a result of that, the form might change. The root word still remains, but the form changes in such situations. The form changes each time you use them. So it's very important understanding. So that's why we need to explain this concept first before just jumping into using the numbers in a full sentence or in a more detailed way. So you should understand the foundations or the background behind why numbers change forms in Yoruba. So understanding this makes it easy the next time you hear somebody say something in Yoruba. So when you hear somebody say um, any, or sorry, say ọ̀kan, èjì, ẹ̀ta, if you hear that, you automatically know that, oh, this person is counting numbers. Ọ̀kan, èjì, ẹ̀ta, ẹ̀rin, àrún. So that's counting in Yoruba. Ọ̀kan is 1, èjì is 2, ẹ̀ta is 3, ẹ̀rin is 4, àrún is 5. So when you hear that, you know it's counting. But if you hear ọ̀kan, èjì, ẹ̀ta, ẹ̀rin, àrún. So if you hear this one, you know the person is saying the cardinal numbers in Yoruba, the actual names of numbers in Yoruba. So ọ̀kan is 1, èjì is 2, ẹ̀ta is 3, ẹ̀rin is 4, àrún is 5. But if I say ẹyọ̀kan, méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn-ún, or I say ọ̀kan, méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn-ún, this is when I'm attributing the numbers to an object, or I'm using to say the quantity of things that I have. So example is 3 bags, 2 shoes, 9 pineapples, 10 pencils, like this. So if you are using numbers to say the quantity of things, or you attribute it to a thing, to an object, or you even want to say your age, so you say it as ọ̀kan or ẹyọ̀kan, méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, márùn-ún. But if you hear someone saying àkọ́kọ́ or ìkíní, èkejì, ẹ̀kẹta, ẹ̀kẹrin, ẹ̀karùn-ún, automatically you know, oh, this person is saying order of things or the sequence in which things happen. So àkọ́kọ́ or ìkíní is first. So first is ìkíní, or you say first is àkọ́kọ́. Second, èkejì. Third, ẹ̀kẹta. Fourth, ẹ̀kẹrin. Fifth, ẹ̀karùn-ún. So if I want to say first position, I will say ipò kíní, ipò ìkíní, but we shorten the e at the beginning of ìkíní when you are saying that way. So it will be, so you can also say the two actually. You can say ipò ìkíní, or you say ipò kíní as first position. If I want to say second position, it will be ipò ẹ̀kejì, or I say ipò kejì. If I want to say third position, I will say ipò ẹ̀kẹta, or I say ipò kẹta. Fourth position is going to be ipò kẹrin, or you say ipò ẹ̀kẹrin. Fifth position, ipò karùn-ún. Sixth position, ipò kẹfà. Seventh position, ipò keje. Eighth position is going to be ipò kẹjọ. Ninth position is going to be ipò kẹsàn-án, and 10th position is going to be ipò kẹwàá. So that is if we are talking about positions. So first is going to be ìkíní, second is èkejì, third is ẹ̀kẹta, fourth is ẹ̀kẹrin, fifth is ẹ̀karùn-ún, sixth is ẹ̀kẹfà, seventh is èkeje, eighth is ẹ̀kẹjọ, ninth ẹ̀kẹsàn-án, 10th ẹ̀kẹwàá. So that is it. Okay, I think the last one we discussed is frequency, when you are saying how many times. So when you hear lẹ́ẹ̀mejì, mo jẹun lẹ́ẹ̀mejì, I ate lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. So mo jẹun lẹ́ẹ̀mejì means I ate twice, or I ate 2 times. Mo jáde lẹ́ẹ̀mẹrin, I went outside 4 times. So 4 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹrin, 5 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀márùn-ún, 6 times is ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹfà, 7 ẹ̀ẹ̀méje, 7 times ẹ̀ẹ̀méje, 8 times ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹjọ, 9 times ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹsàn-án, 10 times ẹ̀ẹ̀mẹwàá. These are the different ways we use numbers in Yoruba. So I'd like to stop here for today, but I encourage that if you have questions, please kindly drop them in the chat. I would go through them and answer them as soon as possible. So you can also try to form sentences with this. Try to use numbers. Try to say how many times in a sentence in Yoruba. So I want to say, I have eaten 3 times today. So 3 times in that case, what would 3 times be? Try to use it in a sentence and see if you have mastered it. So this is why your numbers change from in Yoruba. Just like we have a lot of things that change from in Yoruba, but understanding why they change and when they will change forms, it changes a lot of things. So yeah, that is it for this part 2 of how to use numbers in Yoruba. So in subsequent episodes or subsequent sessions that we are going to have, we will be discussing how to count in Yoruba. So when we had in the first part, I covered counting, which was just from 1 to 10. So in subsequent part, we will learn how to count from 1 to 20 in Yoruba. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you in that session. So have a nice day, everyone. So thank you very much for joining today's live stream. I'm really excited that you are able to join this. So please, if you have any questions, please kindly drop it in the comment section. So thank you, everyone, and have a nice time. Have a nice day.